Welcome back, or should I say welcome to the newest iteration of the Will Be Seein pod. We got a little bit of a facelift. We added a couple new faces, Lauren, Shelly. How are we doing?
Doing great.
It's okay.
Feeling really good, man. Feeling really good.
We got a fun episode for you guys today. We're going to talk about the Johnny Manziel Untold doc. We're going to talk Hard Knocks. We're going to talk about our trip from Atlanta to New York, all the rest. We're going to talk about Barstool a little bit, how Dave bought it back. The pirate ship might be back. And then we got a fun little game towards the end of the episode. And Trent's going to give us his take on the J-Ram Tim situation. But we are officially back from New York and Atlanta. It was a week of traveling. We got to see a Braves game. We got to see a Mets game. We got to see a Yankees game. Somebody tell me what they thought of, let's start in Atlanta.
Atlanta was, I love Atlanta. Whenever we go there, you know, obviously we're hanging out with Prize Picks. They're based out of there. Atlanta's a great time. Something about that Braves stadium. It's just like has that championship pedigree in it. But it's always a good time. Compared to New York, I'd go to Atlanta every fucking time, bro.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, grow up in Philadelphia, like they have that Xfinity Live. And I was like, oh, nothing's probably going to compare to this. And we get to Atlanta. I'm like, yeah, this blows it out of the damn water. It just feels like you've said this a lot, Trent. Like it just feels like a championship, like winning environment. Like I'd love to watch playoff baseball, and I'm not even a baseball guy, but I would love to watch playoff baseball there.
It felt like a playoff game, the one that we were at. Against the
Literally,
Angels.
it was
electric.
like, were they playing? Oh, the Angels.
God, it couldn't be a playoff game. The Angels were there.
No, when we went last year, I remember being like, okay, it kind of seems like a step down from maybe like Globe Life, the Rangers ballpark. But this time I was like, nah, they might have us beat. I'm not going to lie to you.
No.
Very similar, though, like the Texas Live and the Battery. Kind of like the same thing, but Atlanta's definitely where it's at. Very cool ballpark.
I love it.
Yeah, I thought the Atlanta Live was. I feel like that's kind of a hot take. I don't know if you've ever been to the Xfinity Live, you guys, but I feel like the Philly Xfinity Live just might be a little bit better
Oh, for
than
sure.
the Battery.
I can see that because Philly's.
I don't know
really
though,
bad.
but that felt like a hot take. I just you
It's-
said that and it shocked me slightly.
It's a close, but I don't know. Something about just like the weather being beautiful. You can go inside, outside at the Battery. Like Xfinity Live, you're inside. Like
That's
you're
true.
not going outside.
That's just a sports city too.
True, yeah,
That's just a
yeah.
sports city.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think the one thing that I've learned now about stadiums that I like, and I think the reason why I like the Atlanta Stadium so much, and I was telling Lauren about it, is I love a stadium where you can see the city, or you can at least see buildings. And I feel like that Atlanta Stadium, away from if it was a playoff night and they're in game 4 or 5, like how electric that stadium would have been. I mean, they were going crazy, and it was, a Monday night Angels game?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Shohei's in town, but I can't even imagine what it'd be like in a playoff game where something like actually mattered. But I just love the ambiance of when you're at a baseball stadium, be able to look out and seeing like this city. Like especially where our seats were, it felt like you looked out and you saw Atlanta and you were like, all right, I'm in Atlanta. Like I'm in the heartbeat of Atlanta and we're watching like America's pastime.
The suite might have helped a little
The
bit.
suite definitely.
The suite did
They had
numbers.
Chick-fil-A sandwiches in the suite, and it was
Oh,
absolutely
that was
nuts.
busted.
Chick-fil-A
Dang.
sandwiches and some funny Marco cake.
Oh my God, funny Marco. Yeah, dude. If he ever tweets out a Prize Picks entry, fade it.
Yeah, we got to hang out with Funny Marco. He fed me a 4-piece red gob of the WNBA.
I love it though. He's a grinder. He texts me still every day asking for gobs as if I have any.
I was about to say,
money,
you know
gotta
you're not
respect
giving
it.
him shit.
You're not cooking it.
Dude,
It ain't coming from you.
And after Atlanta, we went to New York. Had a good time going to the Mets and Yankees game. Did any of us make coin? I think the only one who ever makes coin on these trips is fucking Lauren.
People forget.
I literally took
Don't
like
forget.
4 flights just to lose like all my money. So.
It's every time, bro. It's every time. I'm in piss. I look over. Lauren's gobs are green. It's like whatever.
Shitting
Over here looking for
gobs.
high fives. No one's giving me any. I'm
Shitting
like,
out
oh, I
gobs.
was
The worst
sad.
is like you're losing all your bets, and then you have to go up and spend $55 on a beer,
Oh,
and
that's
you're
the
like, dude,
worst.
the units
dude.
are already scarce. Now I'm putting a half U on this beer. It's not even gonna get me drunk.
Water
the
kind
other
of
beer's
sounds good.
Yeah, water's also $20.
I mean, that Yankee Stadium, we were literally in what felt like
We were
an
in-
air fryer.
We were in hell over there in the outfield.
Dude, it
That
was.
was bad.
so hot.
I've never been more uncomfortable at a sporting event than I was in the outfield of Yankee Stadium.
It also didn't feel like a baseball game.
But you stayed there the whole time. I don't want that to go
Yeah.
like
I don't know
unnoticed.
how. Well, I was chilling underneath the.
Everyone moved up.
Yeah.
It was just nice to get some vitamin D. I'm not
Dude,
gonna
we
lie.
were front
Vitamin
row to the
D.
sun. Like it was there.
Vitamin
Yeah.
D, it was like your skin started to fall off if you stayed out there for too long.
Yeah, but I was putting ice cubes in my hat, making it work.
Dude,
That's a lot of heart.
worst wager of all time. I took Nestor Cortez over 91.5 mile an hour first pitch. 77
He
curveball.
doesn't have the gas.
The
like that.
worst part was that I fully intended to take his under, and I was boozing a little bit. It was my birthday. I was kind of already blacked, and I like deposited and clicked the button like super fast without even fucking realizing I had taken the over. There wasn't even like the option to take the under. It was like,
They're like, you want the over?
yeah, it was just like you're gonna bet the over, you're not gonna bet it. And I totally just didn't even think twice. I clicked the button, and I'm like, well, looks like I'm gonna have to convince myself that we're taking the over here. And sure enough, first pitch, off speed curveball.
What'd you put on it? It's 200.
GG's, yeah.
What are
Yeah.
we doing?
So I gotta be so much better.
Also, the first thing you did when we landed in New York was you sent a screenshot into the group chat of a 7-leg 3-game same gamer that you put $100 on.
It almost hit.
No, I mean,
I don't think it did it?
No,
I don't think it even came close,
Half
dude.
of it.
Two of them.
Schwarb went over 4. No, but I actually depoted. I looked when we got back because I was like genuinely curious because I checked my checking account and I was like, oh, I had way more money than that when I got to New York and now I don't have as much
Oh,
money.
certainly
Where'd we go
you too.
wrong?
I depoted 4 times into FanDuel. And keep in mind, I feel like, we get fired up when we get to go to like a state where you can use like a book. And we landed and I was like, oh, first depot in. I lost it within 5 minutes of being in New York. And I was like, you know what? Like, there's no way. And I just kept depoting. And since we were drinking almost every day, it never processed that I just kept depoting real money. Like, it just felt like I was just funny money depoting into like my account.
Yeah.
Went down like a solid $500.
Dude, it's oh my god, it's so dangerous not going to like a real sports book and being like, here's the cash for my bet, because it's like, oh, like PayPal. Like, that's not real.
That's not real.
It's PayPal. Like
not
Venmo.
real money.
You can deposit Venmo. I was like,
The thing that's dangerous about me being on the East Coast, like when we're out at a bar, right, and say it's like 12:30 at night, and there's a game about to fucking start, literally, like it'll be like Angels or Dodgers, and like that's a perfect time for me to just depot and try and late night chase. And sure enough, the Angels were like the late night game of the entire trip, like 5 nights in a row. And so I would just late night depot 5 units and fucking throw it on the Angels, hopefully to get tucked in. And they literally had the worst 5-game stretch you could possibly imagine, blowing the lead in the 9th.
Against
3 straight
Giants.
games against the fucking Giants.
yeah, but you're back 2 in a row. You're
2
back.
in a row, yeah.
People
You're
forget.
so back, dude. You're so
So
back.
back, so back. No,
So
it's-
I did want to ask you guys to like kind of, because I feel like we were talking about a little bit pre-show. I think Shelly was talking about it, and I do think it's like kind of interesting to talk about once we get back. Like, if you had to rank the 3 stadiums, like where would you guys put them at? I feel like if you removed kind of like the experience from Yankee Stadium in terms of where we were sitting, it's definitely a super iconic stadium. I think if I did it, I would probably go Atlanta, Citi Field, and then Yankee Stadium, just because I hate everything about the Yankees. But having like been back now, like where would you guys put those 3?
I definitely have Atlanta at 1, and to be honest, I'd say it's a fucking coin flip between Mets and Yankees. Like I don't really have a preference over.
You didn't like Citi Field?
I do, but I don't think it's really anything special compared to what the Yankees have to offer.
See, I would go Citi Field number 1. I love Citi Field. The game we went to, obviously,
What do you
got
like
rained
about
out.
it so much?
I love the atmosphere. Whenever you walk in, like last year when we walked in, like the very front.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just, like,
cool.
it's super cool. Like the huge team store. Just really like that ballpark. Really good food too. And then Atlanta, and then Yankees. I just don't think anything.
Yeah.
Of it. I don't know.
I would love to see the Mets Stadium during like playoff
Yeah.
baseball, because honestly, the reason why I think I liked the Atlanta Stadium, like I liked it a lot, the outside of it, whatever. We get in there and it's just loud. It was like what did we go like on
Monday.
a Monday night?
It took us like an hour to get into the front
It
doors
was a
too.
Monday night. It took
was
an
a
hour.
bobblehead night, but still.
Yeah.
Every night's bobblehead night there.
Yeah.
Here in Atlanta.
Eternally
it's
bobblehead night.
But like that's the thing, like that stadium on a Monday night looked like it was like playoff full. Like it was nuts.
Yeah.
And then obviously like the Mets, dude, you walk in there, it's like the ambiance is just rat piss. Like it feels like you're walking through the streets of New York City. There's rats everywhere. No, I'm joking. There's not rats.
There's literal rats running around
Bad
Citi
year for
Field.
him. Bad year for him.
Yeah. So I'm
Last
gonna
year's
go Atlanta 1, Probably Yankees 2 and then Mets 3, but I could see the 2 and 3 like Trent said, like coin flip probably. I really liked in the Mets they have Caesar Sportsbook like literally
Oh,
inside.
yeah, that's cool.
And there's like a restaurant there, and so that was really cool. And you could watch the game like while you're betting on it, which is sick. I
Yeah.
don't know a lot of anywhere that really does that.
Yeah, there's a few since the legalization
Really?
has come
I know
out.
DC has one, right?
Yeah.
And like
you
the
can
Yeah.
like bet and then literally turn to your left and just watch the game.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Speaking of rats, dude, I don't know how. Like, New York's not a real place. As a West Coast kid who's only gone to New York a couple times, every time I go, I'm just like, this place isn't real.
It's gross.
It's absurd, bro. Like, I literally was asking Dave. I was like, dude, is there always just this many people walking around at all times? Like, everything's just so fucking busy. Everyone's moving around.
Super stimulating.
Dude, it's
Overwhelming?
Yeah, it's overwhelming and
Really?
intimidating. Yeah. Yeah.
God, you're such a West Coast.
Everyone's
kid,
just
dude.
like on the move, like fucking ready, like just get out of my way. I'm working. Like
Yeah.
that's just the vibe.
That's like the East Coast in like general. I feel like too.
Yeah.
If you go up to Philly, it seems like Boston, but like New York definitely is like. I mean, you're moving in group, but they have like cool things like the Stone Pizza. Do you want to talk
Yeah,
about that?
Yeah.
For a second?
So as one of my birthday gifts, Dave hooked us up with he saw this video on TikTok of a restaurant in New York that gives you a 5-course meal fully infused with THC. And I was like, sign me the fuck up. Like, obviously I love that shit. So we go, I have no idea what I'm getting into. And it's like kind of this sketchy, like you have to like walk in, wait in a waiting room, and there's like 70 other people that are going to be dining with you. And everybody that came strapped with like weed ready to roll. Yeah. And
like
so
on top of the
yeah,
food?
yeah. And including Dave.
Like pre-gaming with
yeah,
a blunt?
Yes.
That's nuts.
So
you
like
guys were weed on weed.
yes. So we sit down. It's like 130 a piece for each person, and you sit down. You can choose between like orange soda, grape soda, or Coke, and then they squirt some weed THC in there. So I had Coke. Kind of wish I got the
like
other.
a Mio situation.
Yeah, kind of like a Mio situation. Just a little squirt. And then Krabs like, oh, can you make next round? Can you just like give us a double squirt? And I'm like, dude, Krabs, we don't need double squirts.
Double
Yeah,
squirt,
bro.
baby.
Double squirting with weed on top of weed, dude.
So she like double enhanced the whole meal. Like, so every time they would bring out more dishes, like it was just double the sauce that they would put on it. But it started out with garlic knots, salad. Those are the two first like appetizers infused with THC on top
Nobody
of
touched the salad.
no, the salad was actually, the food was good. Like,
So
I
how
will
would
say.
you infuse the salad? It's just the
Dressing,
dressing. Okay,
yeah. The garlic knots were
Leaves.
the garlic knots were absurd. Like, they were so good. We literally ordered another round of them, and I was already starting to feel it after the appetizers. Yeah, and
Dude, you're not supposed to feel for like 30
Dude.
minutes after you finish your
Oh,
full
crap.
yeah,
course.
yeah. And I
double squirt, dude.
I smoke like every day, and I haven't like been
Felt high.
like that in a minute, and like since high school, and we're all giggly and shit, and it's hilarious. And dude, we were like, boys, we haven't felt like this since fucking sophomore year of high school. And so then they bring out the pizza. Pizza was mid. It was like it was kind of like a DiGiorno. Nothing really crazy, but the pizza came out. We ate all that. Then the wings come out, and like I'm really picky about wings. I was already kind of sketched out about wings at this place, right, or the food in general here. But like I was like, I think I'm gonna pass on the wings, boys. They're like, no, dude, you have to eat everything. Because Krabs had a friend that had been here before, and they were like, oh, we didn't really feel it, but like we didn't really eat that much food, and so we were like, we're gonna eat fucking everything.
Just mucking.
And so Krabs eats a wing, and he's like, dude, these are fucking phenomenal. And I'm like, all right, I gotta try it. They were actually top 5 wing I've ever had.
No way.
The
What was, like,
sauce
the
on this
flavor?
wing, dude, it was like tangy barbecue / like spicy. It was so good. It was unbelievable.
Could
We
you
literally-
taste the THC and everything you ate?
The
or
only
no?
thing I could taste the THC in was the drink. Like, that's why I wish I would have got
Okay.
grape juice or orange, because I drink Coke all the time, and I could easily taste what was wrong with the fucking Coke. But anyways, the pizza, the wings were really good, and by this point we're absolutely fried. And Dave's, swinging around more blunts and shit, and everybody else.
Wait,
in the
could
whole
you
place.
smoke inside?
Yeah, everybody's ripping in the bar.
That's
in the
So you weren't
restaurant.
outdoors.
No,
You were joints inside.
dude.
That's
Imagine
It was like hot boxed in there.
Imagine a nice restaurant and everybody's smoking weed. Yeah,
You were
I've-
probably in heaven.
I've never seen anything like it. And then
Were you asking for tobacco? For chops?
no,
dude?
no.
It's like, you guys got a chop station?
And then they bring out a cannoli with ice cream, which was also infused with THC,
Oh,
and
man.
that shit
That, dude.
literally was the cherry on top. It was so good. And by this point, we were there. I was glued to that chair. We didn't
Dude,
move.
I would have been asleep, mouth open.
We
drooling.
didn't move for 2 hours on this bar stool, literally. And finally, dude, I was like, all right, we gotta fucking go. I didn't realize we've been here since literally 9 o'clock. It's almost midnight. And- yeah, dude.
Dude.
they
Dude,
probably-
it felt like 20 minutes.
they had to kick you guys out.
They're like, so we're closed.
Yeah.
Like,
It
sleep.
felt like 20 minutes is crazy.
And by this point, we're absolutely zooted. Like it was crazy. My eyes are absolutely bloodshot, and I'm laughing at literally anything that walks by me or Crab says. And we spent the rest of the night walking around, just people watching, and I couldn't stop fucking laughing. I was geeking at
Damn.
just looking at the people walking around New York City. Just honestly, doing that sober is one of my favorite things, but doing it after a 5-course THC meal was hilarious,
Dude,
All
bro.
I
time.
wish I got to see you guys.
It was
after. That's like-
hilarious.
Dude, yeah, I wish I was like around for that.
yeah.
Just that's exactly where I wanted to be on my first minute of being 26 years old.
That's
was
fire,
was in
dude.
a fucking 5-course meal.
That's how you kickstart it for sure. That's one way to
Dude,
do
I can't believe
it.
that they were just ripping joints inside.
Apparently,
the
it's
restaurant.
not legal. This
That
restaurant.
sounds pretty sketchy.
Yeah, it's not.
And
And
Dave was
that's-
saying they were like really weird about like people coming in.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. No, you have to
Exclusive.
make a reservation and shit, and they have very exclusive walk-ins, which is what we were at the time. And it's all cash too. So
That's all cash?
yeah.
That's all you need to know.
But
We
think
just
about it.
exposed
That's
this
all you
place
need
was
to
going
do.
under
They
in
do
a
this-
week.
They do this. So it's like you have 2-hour windows, and they do 2-hour windows. They bring in like 70 people every like 2 hours, and they do that probably 6-7 times a day, and 70 people. Each of them are paying $130, and you're doing that 6 times a day. They're making fucking bread,
Oh yeah.
fat bread, doing that. So it was an interesting experience. But if you're ever in New York, definitely try that shit out.
Stone pizza.
Stone pizza.
It's an experience. It's a hell of an experience, but it was a good time.
We went out for your birthday as well. And then we ended up getting like a little separated, I guess. And then Will, Dave, and I went out, and we had like what I would consider to be just a classic night out in New York. And at the end of the night, we were like, would love to stop for some pizza. Wasn't Stone Pizza, but we were like, let's like find this pizza shop. And we like are walking around like the streets of New York, like trying to find a pizza place. Like couldn't find it on the maps. We finally like asked one of these bouncers. We were like, yo, do you know where like a good pizza joint is? And he was like, yeah, all you're gonna do is you're gonna take this street down to John and then take a right. And we're like, all right, so all we gotta do is like take this street to John, take a right. We like start our walk towards John Street, which was just John. I don't know why this guy thought we were in Philadelphia, but did he not say John
He
like
said
super
John.
hard?
John.
John.
Yeah. Because you can take a right to John down there, and then you're gonna find the pizza place right on your left. And we're like, all right, fuck yeah.
I've heard of John.
Um,
I'm from Philly.
But because it was like, because we were with Chelly and Dave, Chelly decided to take control of the nav, and what should have been like a 2-minute walk ended up being like a 20-minute walk. But
Sure.
regardless, we ended up getting the pizza, and we're on our way
Service was
back. We're on our way back to the hotel, and we're walking on the sidewalk, and there's, you know when they like just plant a tree and they put those like the cardboard things around it or the wood things around it to make sure it grows straight up.
Yeah.
So there's one of those on our right, and then you know how in New York they have those gross like basement things that open up
Yeah.
and like stairs down below like the buildings.
Yeah.
So there's like a light coming from.
Sorry, my whole body just went into like after you said that, like I just fucking like literally almost died.
Yeah, there's like the two sides of New York. Like Trent Stone Pizza, he's like giggling and like laughing at like all the people walking around. Then we went and got like super fucked up and like decided to go get pizza at 4 a.m. And there's like a light coming from the basement. And like we're like walking and like you hear it first and then you see it. And you hear like the like, and you're like, dude. And I was like, yo, there's no way. Like that was so fucking loud. And like as you're getting closer under like the tree, I'm not even kidding. it could have been a family unit of rats.
That's
Like they're
absolutely
darting like in and out, in and out, in and out, and then you see like 2 fire across and go into the basement. And we were like,
let me say something. I'm not gonna exaggerate on this number. 50.
No.
50
No, yeah,
rats,
dude.
like full size fucking.
Master Splinters?
They've been eating real good,
dude, and
like
they're
stoned pizza good.
and they're ratting. Like there's trash bags like in the bed. Dude, it was foul. But you see like 2 fire across the street and go into the basement. And like we're like standing there, we're like, yo, there's like no, like we have to move quickly because this is like foul. Like literally, like there was no other way to get to our hotel other than like this little sidewalk, and we were like, yo, we gotta like move quick, or like I feel like
Dude, I
these
might have
rats
just-
might act up,
Like,
dude.
we
Yeah,
Like
That's-
I'll take a
tiptoeing,
taxi
like
past this.
tiptoeing, not to anger the people.
That's crazy.
literally like tiptoeing because you can hear them, you can see them, and they're like just moving, like ratting. And so we like walk, we're like starting to like
Ratting.
tiptoe by, dude, and we get by the basement that's like lit up, dude, and you look down there. Yeah.
Dude, have you seen Ratatouille?
Yeah, like literally.
Have you seen
No,
Ratatouille?
like deadass. Have you
'Cause
seen
I saw it-
Ratatouille?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
they open the meat locker and they're
Absolutely.
all stopped and they're like looking at him and it's like light and then the guy's like, ah! And they like, dude, we looked in this basement. And there's like light coming out of it. I'm not even kidding, dude. It actually makes my mouth
It's
sweat like I'm gonna
gross.
throw up. There was a bucket in this
Dude.
basement.
No.
Oh my god, there was a bucket
It was
in
like a
this
soup. It
basement.
literally looked like the
Yeah.
soup Ratatouille,
It looked
bro.
like there was soup in the bucket.
What was this basement connected to? Please don't tell
It
me
was
a restaurant.
below a restaurant.
Okay.
Called Rockwell's. You ever get invited to Rockwell's,
Yeah,
you get the fuck out
I
of there.
remember seeing Rockwell.
Yeah, so it was on the corner.
On the
Yeah, it was that close.
Right next to the place we actually
Yeah.
ate at.
Yeah, dude.
Oh yeah.
And we were like,
Damn.
yo, is this basement connected to where we just had that food at?
Oh my
Dude, so there's a
goodness.
bucket. Oh my god. There's a bucket of what looks like just soup.
And they're all just
Stew.
standing on
Dude,
like the fucking.
they're on the edge. I've never seen anything like it. Oh my god, dude. I'm literally like, I have goosebumps right now. It's so gross.
Mucking.
Dude, they're on the edge of it. I've never seen it. Hanging into the bucket, like back feet holding onto the back of the bucket, just ratting. They're just ratting the soup. Dude, I've never been more disgusted in my life.
Dude, I know we were on Broadway, but that might have been Ratatouille on Broadway. Like they could have.
Dude, like I expected, like what was talking about? We expected like Linguini to come out.
Yeah.
And be
I was like, maybe they were chefing up.
Let me back in the kitchen.
Let them cook.
Let me shut the doors. Dude, it was so foul. And then I got up to my room and like mugged 2 pieces of pizza. So it didn't really throw me off that much, but it was like one of the more. I've never seen a rat hang on the edge of a bucket and like rat.
It's like rat fucking chuck.
Literally, they were rat fucking chucking. But it was like so gross. But I guess that was
That's
New
absurd,
York, dude.
That's crazy.
Dude, so foul. Like just rats. Like literally rats.
It's always something, man.
But speaking of rat fucking, we all watched the Johnny Manziel doc.
What? Does
I
that
mean,
What a
he was
transition.
I know
literally like,
exactly what that means.
like,
Wow.
was he not just like a rat fuck? Like he was rat fucking at Texas A&M. Like
Dude.
he
He
was.
was just having a time. 100%.
But so I wanted to like obviously we all watch it. I want to hear what everyone has to what everyone thought about it. He was my favorite athlete growing up. He was like my phone background for like a really long time. Like always thought Johnny Manziel was super cool. I loved just like the way he like did stuff. First gut reaction to the doc was I think Lauren texted it first, and then I was like, "Yo, everyone stop talking about it because I want to hear what everyone like wants to hear about it." But like I think what you said was true, which was that you thought that it was.
I thought it was weak. I mean, a lot of the stuff I saw, it was stuff I already knew. That was like kind of what pissed me off. I wanted to like get like the real
Dirt.
like dark, like what was really going on. But it was just kind of like everything they talked about a lot, but it was all like surface level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I liked
I thought it was good. It was a good documentary, but I was just like,
I don't know, there was some things that I learned that I didn't know before. But I don't know. I thought it was interesting just to see like what it was actually like for him on campus at the time, which was just fucking absurd.
yeah,
Celebrity.
Yeah,
literally.
like especially after winning the Heisman, that's kind of when everything changed. But I thought it was really good. What were your thoughts on it?
No, I thought it was sick. I mean, like obviously he was my favorite athlete, so I was really excited watching it. I agree with Lauren. I think it was very surface level though. I don't think they like dug into a lot. I obviously had no idea he tried to kill himself. That was like crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
It was very eye-opening, like you said, to realize that there really hasn't been a college athlete that reached that level. I think we were so young that we didn't really realize the level he was at, but to be a freshman winning a Heisman and then be hanging out with Drake and have Drake talking about it on ESPN, be hanging out with like these celebrities and going to places and the celebrities being like, yo, Johnny Manziel's here. Like, yo, Johnny Manziel's here.
Yeah.
Like he was probably, I mean, at the time, probably the most famous man in America. Like at that point in time.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
And then you think about how strong the SEC is too. I didn't realize at that time that was their first year in the SEC, and
Yeah.
he like popped off,
I also didn't realize
which
that.
is insane when you think about how strong the SEC is. Like come in there as a freshman. But I was telling Lauren before we sat down, I think the reason why it was so surface level is because when you start hearing about the shit he was doing, if they went all the way in and they were like, and he told every story, he would probably be liable to get like sued or arrested on like a couple counts of a lot of things. I would like assume, because like I was talking to Dave about it too a little bit. They didn't talk about the fact that he was buying like his teammates' cars. Like he bought like Mike Evans like a brand new car like at the time, and that was like one of the things that was like really fucked up that they didn't even talk about in the documentary. But I thought the funniest thing of all time was just how bad of a coach Cliff Kingsbury is. Like, dude, Johnny Manziel literally got that man a career in football. And like when you watch Cliff talk about it, like Cliff was an awful coach. He's like, yeah, we had to put Johnny in like online classes, but it's terrible for Johnny. But as long as he played well on the field, like he didn't care about that kid at all.
Yeah, he basically said like if that's what he had to do to play good, then so be it. I was
Like Cliff might have been the
dude.
worst possible coach.
Yeah, it was
for
bad.
him. He was literally just like anything he wanted to do. Like as long as like I look good,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I will say though, his best friend, a real one, the
Yeah.
one that like came up with the plan. I was like, dude, what a friend, and like
Nuts.
took all the heat pretty much for
Yeah.
everything that was going on. So that's a good friend to have.
No, there were a lot of smart like things that they did. I will
Yeah.
say.
The agent with the dad, that killed me, dude.
No,
He was
that
like, yo, you're going to have to say your heart's weak because he's not passing this drug test. And his dad was like, fuck.
I feel like a lot of it was commonly known like throughout his career, like the stuff they talked about, but like him not watching a second of tape is insane. He never watched tape ever.
Yeah.
Like, that's like rule number one is like you get in the film room immediately after practice and watch back what just happened in practice.
He didn't ever really need to. He was always just the best guy on the field no matter what. And then he gets to the NFL, and that completely is just not the case anymore.
Yeah.
And I just think he stopped giving a fuck after he left College Station.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy? I might as well while we're on the Johnny football topic. I mean, you guys know I'm like talked to him in the bathroom at a bar in Dallas. And everyone like got really quiet the second he walked in the bathroom, and I was with Mikey but not in the bathroom, and then obviously after this happened I came out, I was like, Mikey, I think I just met Johnny Football. But
He
we were in
didn't
the
know who he was,
bathroom. Yeah, I didn't know who he was. So this guy comes, pees next to me in the stall, and everyone's like, oh, it got really quiet all of a sudden in the bathroom. Like really quiet. It was really loud and then got really quiet. I was like, what's good, bro? I was like, are you Johnny? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh, nice to meet you, bro. Like, what's up? Because at the time, I thought I was going to link with him at the Super Bowl, or I don't know what I thought.
Yeah, dude. Will was like, I'm gonna be at your Super Bowl party.
Yeah, I was like, I think I might be coming to your Super Bowl party. Just totally was never going to his Super Bowl party. But literally, like, talked to him for a couple minutes, like, really chill dude, like, super chill. And then, like, right before he dips, just quick little line.
He's still off that sauce.
Yeah, he's still going strong, which is like stays true to the doc.
Yeah. I will say though, the one part that really got me, obviously as a Texas fan, was learning he wanted to go to Texas.
that's
I was
crazy.
like, dude,
Could you
literally
imagine?
fell to my knees. Like when they like showed the little pictures of him like in a Longhorns basketball uniform, I was like, what could have been, man?
But do you think he would have done what he did at UT? Like, do you think? Because I think the one thing that was really eye-opening for me is that Texas A&M was so in the gutter.
Yeah.
And they finally had this kid that was like bringing them out of like. I mean, I think they said in the doc, and it could have been more true. There's never been an athlete to do more for a school than Johnny Manziel did for Texas A&M. If you think about it, like now. Yeah. I don't know if UT would have put up with it.
So I think UT would have been better for like maybe the discipline aspect, but they definitely wouldn't have given him full reign like Texas A&M did. I don't think.
And he also wouldn't have had as much of an impact on a school that's already flourishing.
And that would have came right after the Colt McCoy era, which I mean, yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question. We'll never really know.
I just feel like they would have never put up with his
bullshit.
because I feel like before he got on campus at A&M, he got arrested.
Yeah.
And the coach was like, "I was so out of character," and like Johnny was like, "It might like just be my character."
Yeah, like,
Fuck,
just
man.
me.
So like, I don't know if I think Baker too. I don't think Baker's personality worked at UT. I mean, when you start thinking about athletes that I mean, every kid from Texas probably wants to play at UT.
You'd be surprised, but I don't know. It's hard to.
Still hurts though when you're like,
It
God,
definitely
could have had
hurts.
fucking
It definitely
Johnny
hurts. I was like,
football,
dang.
man.
After watching it, I definitely grew more respect for Manziel. I just think he never really wanted what he got in the fame. You know, he was just a kid that wanted to be a football player and have fun with his friends.
He literally just went from 0 to 100. And
Yeah.
it's like, how does anyone handle
and like
that?
he said, he never had a break. Like that
Yeah.
span,
That's true.
that span was like absurd.
Mhm.
From beating Alabama, winning the Heisman, getting drafted, and going to the Browns. Like, and you have no break in between, and then you have paparazzi everywhere you go. Like, I feel for him.
You guys ever watch Blue Mountain State?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know Alex, the main character, backup quarterback.
Mhm.
Manziel always just wanted to be like Alex.
Yeah. All he wanted to do was be
he's
Alex.
such an Alex, bro.
He just wanted to have
like
a good
Zach
time.
Wilson right now. We were just, I mean, perfect, time to talk about. We were just talking about football, Hard Knocks.
Mm-hmm.
Literally just watched Hard Knocks last night. Zach Wilson reminds me of Alex from BMS. He's like fucking super good looking. Pause. But like he can literally get any girl he wants, backup quarterback to like a stud in Aaron Rodgers, and he's learning so much. Like, I don't know. I think that Hard Knocks was, if we're comparing the two, way better than the Manziel. I mean, completely different type vibe, but it was way better. More entertaining to watch, in my opinion, too.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
thought it was
basically
better.
an hour of slurping Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, as a Jets fan, getting like a Hard Knocks of like a season I'm really excited about, it was almost too much Aaron Rodgers glazing.
Wow.
Like, I'm excited. Don't get me wrong.
gotta be
I'm
so
excited,
fucking
dude.
hyped.
I mean, I was watching it like I was almost hard 90% of it because I was like, we're going to be so good.
I have friends that were Jets fans in college, and they would splooge over a 6 and 7 season. I can't imagine
Dude, like
what you're feeling right
the
now.
level of excitement I have is like nuts. But I was talking to a couple guys in New York that came to like to hang out with us. We are still the Jets,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like somehow, some way, we're gonna
Fuck
find a way to fuck this whole thing up, and I know it.
Yep.
But still, like the excitement is there. Like I couldn't be more amped. But like, dude, first episode of Hard Knocks, I don't like. It was almost uncomfortable levels of Aaron Rodgers glazing.
The only thing missing was an Aaron Rodgers cum shot. I'll be 100% honest. What you think, OC?
I mean, you're literally
It's a hard
right.
one to follow.
You're right.
No, I don't know. I thought it was cool. Like all the players were like, what you see on the media. Like he's really actually a really
interests
cool
me, for
guy. Like
sure.
really nice guy. And I always thought that anyways. But I don't know. Yeah, as a Jets fan, you got to be for sure feeling pretty good.
Amped up. Garrett Wilson looks like he's gonna be a dog. Sauce Gardner gonna be a dog.
Yeah,
Quinn
those
Williams.
two like battling at practice, so freaking cool.
Yeah, that
to
is
watch.
awesome.
I was gonna say that might be the biggest iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like of all time.
Yeah.
Of those two, like, and every time they line up, they like shake each other's hands, like they know it's like I'm
Like,
not gonna be
respect.
pissed at you after
Yeah.
this or
Mhm.
whatever it is. But
yeah.
dude, they're getting after it,
Yeah.
and like that got me more excited than like seeing Aaron Rodgers. Like just like I mean, dude, there were some throws he makes though that are like holy mother.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys got. Obviously, you know, I'm watching it from like a real fan's point of view. You guys are just like kind of consuming it. Like obviously love football, but not really like Jets fans. Even the drill where he was sniping the buckets, like I got a little bit of a stiff.
Yeah, that's fair.
They'd be like, all right, blue, and he was just fucking like, dude, if that was Zach Wilson on Hard Knocks, he might not even have hit the thing.
Orange?
Might not even
Is it
have-
orange?
Is it orange? Is he throwing it to fucking like literally
No,
out of bounds, dude? It's like, no,
Garrett?
you don't have to throw it out of bounds. There's no one coming, dude. Just throw it at the buckets, dude.
Zach, that's blue.
Zach, no one's rushing you, man. You can't run. It's a throw drill. You got to throw the fucking ball, dude. But I thought it was so cool how Aaron Rodgers literally like dialed up that play though.
Yeah.
In the preseason
No,
when
that
Zach
was.
like let one go and he was like, throw it to Malik.
Yeah,
Malik.
that was
Malik.
cool. That was cool.
He still went under pass yards.
It's like if you think about it, dude, Garrett Wilson's lining up against Sauce Gardner every single day in preseason. Then he's gonna line up week 1 against Eli Apple, and it's just gonna be like, "Hey, man, we're not shaking hands."
Eli's
Yeah,
Eli's- I watched Hard Knocks. Come on, let's do it. Let's shake it. Shake on it.
Let's do it, man. Come on. Dude, get that shit out of here, bro.
I couldn't help but think watching At what point in the season are we going to turn on the TV and see the headline, "Concern for the Jets?" Question mark. At what point?
Week 1. It's literally going to be.
I think
week
it's
1.
going to be a 2-2 start. Concern for the Jets? Question
If we
mark?
don't beat the Bills week 1, that's going to be the first headline on ESPN. I'm not even kidding. It'll be like, are the Jets as good as they thought they were going to be? And it's like, we
100%.
lost to Buffalo or something.
Is A-Rod
Yeah.
back on the mushrooms? Literally just attacking. We don't know.
That's so good.
I like how his handshake that he did. I forget who he with, but was like
Sauce.
clearly just
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, and then
smoking
they got to
him
put it
daisy.
out on
Yeah, they gotta
somebody.
put it out on
It's
someone
so
else.
funny,
Yeah.
dude.
sick.
Did you see the DTR slurpage though
did.
from Aaron? That's
I
big time.
did.
You had to be happy about that.
He was like LA kids.
Yeah.
So that was like sick. One of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. Like in college, Dorian Thompson-Robinson on UCLA was on the Browns. Obviously for the preseason, he like went up and talked to Aaron, and Aaron like was kind of glazing DTR.
Glazed him.
Yeah,
I
keep
was
up with you.
I was Aaron glazing the voice of Hard Knocks was one of the funniest
So
narratives.
random.
He's like, "Did you go say hi?" They're like, "No, man." He's like, "You gotta go say
Yeah,
hi."
you gotta go say hi to him.
Super nervous. Never been to a practice.
Yeah, but
before.
like he's like, I love your movies, and then didn't name one. He's like, Aaron, I mentioned the movies, Aaron.
He was like, "That was you."
which one?
Which movie? Yeah, just keep doing the voice on Hard Knocks, though. It's real good
No,
stuff.
but like the movies are sick, but really voice of God. Like that's why I really like you.
Yeah.
That
But,
dude's
like,
voice
what
is pretty
I was
good.
about to
It
say,
is good.
man, that's like my favorite thing when I was sitting down last night to watch. I was like, damn, I can't wait to hear this motherfucker's voice. It's a great voice.
It is a good
I'm
voice.
gonna definitely not seeing the cuts and shit.
I
Like
know.
I hope there's more than.
No, they will. They will.
I hope there's more than just glazing Aaron Rodgers.
There is. They always do it.
No,
They-
apparently the Jets were like there was a couple stipulations that they did to be on Hard Knocks, and one of them is they're not showing cuts.
Shut the. That's literally the best part.
I know.
That's why I don't. That's why you didn't see any interviews of guys that are like on the edge. It
I
was like
thought they
Aaron
were
Quinnen,
just-
and
It's
then
all
the
your main
only guy
guys.
that they really showed that was not in the starters was that kid that like busted in preseason.
55,
Yeah, so he's
the
not gonna get
linebacker.
cut, but like they were like kind of
They were
glazing,
glazing
him. A little
him.
bit.
Not even like
dude.
Zach got that much screen time. I was like, damn.
Thank God. Fuck that guy, dude. Every time he comes up on the screen, it like pisses me off like a
Dude,
little bit.
why does he? I know he went to BYU. Probably like, is he Mormon?
Yeah,
Zach
I
Wilson.
would assume.
Probably.
But like,
Yeah.
dude, it's just like, come on, man. Just close your damn trap. Like, whenever he opens his mouth, I just want to knock him out. Like, for real, bro.
Like,
He
loosen up your
sucks.
sleeves, number 2. And he's like, well, the guy in front of me doesn't have anything to show off. So, dude, it's fucking Aaron Rodgers in front of you. Like, shut up, bro.
Fucking glaze him.
Like, yeah.
Shut up and glaze him.
Eyes up the nice.
But I know it's going to be a narrative all Hard Knocks that, like, Aaron is, like, coaching him up. And, like, he definitely is. But, like, I mean, I don't really understand ball to, like, a level of understanding what they're talking about a lot. But the one conversation that like blew my mind of like how it felt little Zach knows about ball is he was talking about in one of the drills they did, Zach did 4 hitches, which I would assume a hitch is like when you get ready to throw.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron Rodgers was like, by the second hitch, you're either throwing or moving. And Zach made 4 before doing like either of those things. Aaron was like, yeah, by your second hitch, you should either be throwing here or because you're athletic, you should be moving. But you did 4. Without doing anything.
That's crazy, bro.
It's like, dude, that level of not knowing ball for Zach is insane. Like, if you think about that for a second, like, Aaron was like, all right, by your second hitch, you're either throwing, like, he was like, by your second hitch, you're either throwing here or you're, like, getting out. But you did 4. Like, he was like,
Yeah.
You know, Zach was
what
like,
are
get those
you-
goddamn cameras away.
what are you doing, man? Like, actually, what are you doing?
Cut that out.
Cut that out.
Yeah, he's like,
Not right now. Not right now.
but I thought it was good, though. I think what did you guys think of it, like, compared to, like, other Hard Knocks, if you guys have watched other Hard Knocks?
I thought the energy seemed like a lot better on this one. Like normally it's like real, just like hard nose, like whatever. This one was just like it seemed to be like electric. Like you
yeah.
can tell the place is just so excited. Like when Aaron walked out on the field and everyone lost
Yeah.
their, that was super cool to see.
Busted.
They
See, like,
busted. for
I'm
me.
so used to Hard Knocks being the worst team in the NFL and them picking them up. So it's like weird to see a team that's like has so much promise in Hard Knocks. Like I'm a big Raiders guy, right? That season of Raiders Hard Knocks was like, it got me excited, dude. I drafted Darren Waller like really like a last round of that fantasy football draft, and like that was his bust season. It was because I drafted him because of Hard Knocks, because I like saw that he was working on himself, rehab, like quit heroin, stuff like that. So like, dude, this is nuts to see. Like this team has so much promise. Like the first clip, dude, of how do you say his name? Salah. Of him talking about like the crow trying to bring the eagle down, the crow just like, or the eagle soars up even
Yeah.
higher and the crow drops down. Like that was gassing me up, man. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting fired up in my bed. I was like, fuck yeah, I might root for the Jets this year, man.
No, dude, Hard Knocks will have you thinking like the Jets are going 18-0, and that includes
Literally.
a win in the bye week.
Yeah.
Like that's how it makes you feel like when you watch Hard
Yeah.
Knocks. I will say though, I liked the crow thing. I thought there's just a little bit too much corn going on in that.
little
Like
bit.
too much
I
corny
did-
shit.
You lost
dude.
me if I'm in that locker room for a second. I'm like, can you just knock on wood if you're with me?
Just tie back.
Yeah.
I also hate how he
Where we
like
going?
switches from freaking to fucking.
Yes, dude.
I
That
don't know
was
if you guys know.
that was.
He's like, we got to make some freaking tackles because they're fucking out there not trying. It's like, dude, pick a
He
a
said
lane.
frick and fuck like in tandem. So
didn't even
if we don't
notice that.
frickin' focus the fuck up, I'm like, are you cursing or
What?
are you not?
I was like, can we make some like decisions here?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like last thing, just about the Hard Knocks really quick. I think the Sean Payton thing was crazy. That got me fired
Oh,
up
yeah.
because Nathaniel Hackett actually seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Might be like an all-time bozo, but
Some are saying.
Yeah. I don't know why Sean
No.
Payton came out like that.
like no reason,
For
dude.
no reason at
reason.
all.
Makes me think the Broncos are gonna suck.
Yeah.
But we play them, so I'm excited we get to hang our nuts
That's
on
good.
their
Just
chin.
another good narrative for no reason.
Another good narrative for no reason. I mean, speaking of like other big news that happened, Dave Portnoy bought Barstool back from Penn for a singular dollar.
Crazy.
Nuts.
Crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
I feel like one, it's gonna change the landscape of content in sports again because I think they're gonna be back to doing what they used to do when they were going to jail rooting for the Patriots. So I'm excited for that. It also bred what I think is going to be one of the most corporate books of all time, an ESPN bet. If I see a Stephen A. like, you can get the Lakers to win the championship and LeBron to win the MVP boosted to plus 5,000, the Stephen A. parlay, like I'm
Cowboy under wins.
Like,
Like, what?
like, what do you guys think of like? I feel like ESPN's the one network that shouldn't have a book.
Yeah, it's Disney World, bro.
Yeah.
What are we gonna have like park hopping fucking MVIP pass?
Is there gonna be a sports book in Disney World now?
Dude, there might be.
Dang.
There might be.
Trent is about to take his family to Disney World for the first time.
Now that I think
ever,
about it,
dude.
Disney World does sound fun.
Like, Dad, can I get the Mickey ears? Hold on, Timmy. I gotta go fucking place Mets money line real quick. And then we'll get the Mickey ears.
Dad, can we go on Magic Mountain one more time?
The Angels play in 30 minutes.
The Mets are down 3, Tim. No, dude, we can't. Can we go to Epcot and I want to try the juice in Germany one more time? We don't have Germany juice money anymore, Tim.
But no, for real, the Barstool move, I think, is so big for them and an interesting experiment for like relationships with books and content creators. I just think that Barstool was so on a short leash. They couldn't be themselves the last 3 years,
Yeah.
and it diminished their content, and they just were in a chokehold. And you talk to the creators within Barstool, and they literally will say, like, yeah, it sucked. Like, we couldn't be ourselves. We couldn't say certain things. We couldn't say shit's a lock or can't lose parlay.
I have a
And
question.
yeah, what?
Do you think Kelly in Vegas is like pissed because she like left just as they got bought back?
I don't think she left. She got fired.
Oh, she got fired.
Yeah.
She didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Ah,
I wouldn't know what she's up to these days. She
Superbook.
blocks me. Superbook.
Superbook.
Really?
Superbook.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good look for Kelly.
But
She's the new T-Math.
going back to
What's up, Tim?
going back to Portnoy, I have a lot of respect for him and the move that he did. I've obviously always looked up to Portnoy as an entrepreneur, but I'm sure he saw, that the content wasn't what it used to be, and I'm sure he felt like this needs to have me back in the office to keep this ship what it was and bring it back, and just simply cut ties with Penn. And it's exactly the move that needed to happen. And I think he saved Barstool for sure. People might think of it as like, oh, like they lost their opportunity to work with a sports book. Like if he sells Barstool, they have to get 50% of it. He's never going to sell it. He already came out and said
Yeah, he
that.
said
He
that.
said he's going to pass it down to PFT and Big Cat.
If
and
he
then-
does sell, Penn gets 50% of the sale. Though.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's probably also another reason why he's like, I'm not selling.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause if he sells,
he doesn't wanna
he's
lose
like,
that battle.
50%.
Well,
too.
they
It's
they
like-
do get 50% of their sales right now, but he just owns 100% of the company.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they get the sales, yeah.
But I think that he literally saved Barstool. I think we're going to see a lot more content coming out from them. That's going to be back to what they normally were. But the experiment didn't work. I mean, they thought they were just going to spoon feed stoolies to Penn, and it just didn't work the way that they imagined because they couldn't make the unique, creative bullshit content that they're really good at making.
Right. Yeah.
And then literally within the last 24 hours, I've seen more shit from them than I have the last 3 years.
Literally, it's crazy.
Yeah, they might be back, and I'm excited. I've always liked Dave Portnoy, Big Cat, like just because of how, I don't know, they're just very personal guys. Like,
Yeah.
they're just funny, you know. And we haven't gotten to see that the last 3 years, like you said. So I'm excited to see
Yeah,
what they
it's
do.
the corporate feel. I don't think like I'm
No.
not a stoolie as someone from the West Coast. I wasn't really born into like the Barstool blood that a lot of the kids in our generation on the East Coast were. But I've obviously grown to like it throughout my time in college and resonated with Portnoy really well as an entrepreneur. And I know for a fact that this is the right move for sure. I mean, it's interesting that they're not going to be able to work with sports books in the future, which definitely, is a slight down thing to have because that kind of caps like the revenue that they can make from a sports book. But like, they're just gonna bust their ass making great content, and I have no doubt they're gonna do that. So.
Well, you stole the signs, so.
Yeah, you still stole the sign. Though.
Dude, when I made that video, I didn't even I wasn't even putting 2 and 2 together. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
you're
this is
probably like, why the
Well,
fuck
like
did
we
this
all
guy call
say
me
that,
out?
like it's the sign.
yeah.
Like,
It's also like that's sports betting. Though, like you stub your toe, and then they're like, "Oh, Dorian Thompson-Robinson stubs toe," and you're like, "Oh, I'm fading him."
Yeah,
That shit hurt.
like, oh, there's a Blue Jay outside the sign. Like,
Yeah.
take the Blue Jays today.
Sign.
duh.
But like when I made that, and people were tagging like Jersey Jerry saying like, "Oh, I stole a shtick," I'm like, "Oh fuck, I didn't even realize." And then he chirped me after that. I was like, "Oh fuck, what did I get myself into?" But no, I have all respect for the Barstool guys. I love Jack Mack's shit.
No,
a
he's
lot.
so
yeah.
good, dude.
My girlfriend like has a crush on him, like, and
Dang.
I watch his shit all the time.
Grins, why don't you cut that out? Grins,
Cut that one out.
Edit that one out, brother.
Cut that one
Airing
out,
yourself
Grins.
out like that.
Yeah, why are you airing yourself out like that, brother?
No, but he's such a homie, like, and he's so good at
I'm
like,
fine with it.
he's so good at.
She
just-
loves him and like sends me his videos all the time. But, like I don't mind it. Like it doesn't bother me.
I told her
but-
one hall pass. I mean, Jack Mack.
Jack Mack all bats is
crazy.
I will say though, the one thing that I've thought was
Good
really
storyteller.
interesting from like the whole thing that I would love to kind of get everyone's take on is you kind of realize through it like what, especially in his like emergency press conference, you kind of realize from the content perspective, obviously, doing what we do, the goal is to be able to obviously have full autonomy with what you're doing, but also there's that idea in the back of your head, at least when like I started doing everything, that you're like, it would be awesome to be part of the book and be like, I have a book that's mine, like I can do what I want in the book, like maybe we can do like promos, whatever it is. You kind of realize how behind the curve the judicial system is with sports betting, the political system is with sports betting, and also the companies themselves because of how not accepted it is still on that public stage. Like we have this bubble on social media where we think that like everything that we do in sports betting is everything that's happening in sports betting. Like everyone is doing late night chases, everyone's doing these parlays, everyone loves sports betting, everyone knows the bad sides, the good sides, whatever. But then when you hear like Dave talking about it, and they're like, states won't give you licenses because of a tweet or because of an Instagram post or because of the way you name a parlay, like you start to realize how hard it is still for sports betting to become really, really mainstream on like that national stage. And Barstool was kind of that first company that was like, we're going to take sports betting like on that national stage, main stage, like a really big content company, and we're going to have our own book. And you realize that a lot of America's still really behind that curve of being okay with like just even the smallest things in sports betting, like a can't lose parlay. Obviously that's a bit.
Right.
Like if you don't see that as a joke, like they got licenses taken away and rejected because of that name of a parlay. Because they were like, you're convincing these kids to take these parlays and then
that it won't lose, and you're guaranteeing it won't lose.
Yeah.
And then it loses, and then you're fucked.
and like by the way, the parlay is like always 6 legs.
Yeah.
Like that was
Yeah.
it was never gonna hit.
No.
But like I think it's kind of crazy to think about the future of the sports betting landscape and seeing the biggest fish in sports betting content kind of try to jump in that pool and being like, fuck that. I thought that was kind of a really eye opener.
Yeah, I mean, ESPN and Penn, I think, are the perfect match because they're both so corp. you know.
Yeah.
And it makes all the sense in the world. Like, you're not going to see anybody on ESPN saying, "Oh, this is a can't lose parlay."
Yeah.
You know.
It's probably easier for Penn too, because like you said, ESPN's already corp, so it's not like they're having to be like, hey, like you can't say that, you know.
They're
with
already
Barstool.
corp. You know?
They're already corp. So
and ESPN fucking hates Barstool,
Yeah.
right? And so that was kind of like the ultimatum. Like, if you want to buy us, then you gotta ditch them, and that's exactly what happened. So I think everybody in the end wins.
Yeah, it's a
Absolutely.
win-win, for sure.
Win everywhere. But really interesting for the landscape of the industry of sports betting.
It's just a shame we're never gonna get to see like a FanDuel promotion of the Chile.
Dude, imagine. God, that would get me horny.
Frosty
Just
Five.
the Frosty 5 boosted from plus 1,000 to plus 2,000, bro. Oh
Yeah,
my
that'll hit, right?
God. It's air.
The Chell got 7 boosts of Frosty
People would
5.
totally think it's rigged because, like, the Flames were the last leg and they were up 3 going in the third. Like,
like no,
fuck, it was because it was boosted.
It'd be perfect for your content. Though. You'd be like, I knew it was dead the minute they boosted that shit.
I wish I could see like the records of boosts, like when the games are over.
Dude, so
Yeah.
it used to be like 100%. Like, would hit. I remember when I first started sports betting at FanDuel, they would only do boosts, but it would be like, if there's 1 point scored in the Cavs game and you could put $50 on it and you get 50 back, there'd be 1 yard thrown by Tom Brady. And then they started boosting like actual games. And now I think it's like 0.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's too corp, man. It's too corp these
it's
days. I'm not
so
gonna lie.
corp.
It's too corp.
So corp. Yeah.
In the Guardians jersey.
In the Guardians jersey, we got to talk about that shit.
Yeah.
man. J-Ram. Oh my God, bro.
Let's talk J-Ram, Tim Anderson, and then we'll get to our, what was it called? Wavelength?
Wavelength,
We're going to do a
yeah.
little Wavelength game for you guys. But, like, I mean, he slept.
So here's the story, all right? It was my birthday that day, and all I wanted was a fucking J-Ram bang on my birthday. It's the least you could do for me, right? And so we get back from, like, dinner or some shit, and we go upstairs to, like, shower, get ready to go out. And I'm sitting on the toilet, okay? I'm sitting on the toilet. I see J-Rams coming up to bat with a guy on second. And I'm got the shower running. I'm like, okay, I got to see this at bat before I get in the shower. Come on, J-Ram. I'm just sitting there. And I'm like, J-Ram, please, man, this is your chance, bro. It's my birthday. This is all I want. Just give me a bang. And I'm obviously score app watching like the little whore I am, doing that shit.
Pants at the ankles, on the toilet, stark naked,
Score app.
Double
slutting
sweating.
over the score.
double sweating.
I see like
Double sweating.
I see like a 92 exit velo ground ball and a long pause in between, like an out recorded. So I'm like, please just show me a 1 on the scoreboard. Please show me a 1 on the scoreboard. And sure enough, the 1 on the scoreboard pops up. I'm literally, yeah, let's fucking go, J-Ram. And so immediately I go to Twitter and I type in Jose, all in caps, splooging. And immediately as I tweet that, everybody floods the mention saying like, bro, do you see that shit? You see that shit? Like fucking brawl going on. I'm like, what? I'm not watching. Immediately go to MLB app, turn the game on, and I just see a fucking massive scruffle. And I'm just like, no, please tell me this is not happening right now. And of course, I refresh Twitter. First thing that pops up is a fucking video. I'm just like, there's no way. I just got a Jose RBI, and he's going to get suspended 10 plus games for this bullshit. Are you fucking kidding me? I will say that after seeing the video in that moment, I was so much happier knowing that he knocked the shit out of Tim Anderson. If it was the other way around, I would have been in moose shit.
No, people forget J-Ram had someone holding him back. Tim Anderson didn't have anyone holding him back. He
Yeah.
still got
Yeah,
swept.
Tim was getting clean shots,
he
and
was having-
J-Ram had like someone over his shoulder. He was like, I'm throwing this from the fucking
like,
floor,
as he's like
dude.
walking away, just clocks him. Absolutely crazy.
Can someone explain to me though? Like, I guess I don't know ball. Why were they so mad at each other? It just looked like
So-
J-Ram slid, and it looked like Tim tried to tag
There
him.
was already beef brewing
Yeah.
leading up to this moment.
pre-beef.
Yeah. I mean, and apparently Tim's a big shit talker.
Oh yeah.
And so there was already chirps being said. And, I mean, they're in divisional rivals, so there's already
I think
that
he like
beef.
tagged him like
And-
incredibly hard, like way harder than what he needed
So he
to.
tagged him a
thing.
little weirdly,
Mhm.
and then he kind of stood over him like disrespectfully for a bit too long.
Well, so are you allowed to? I thought in my dumb not knowing ball head, I didn't know you were allowed to like cover the base like that because J-Ram had to slide through his legs.
Yeah.
Like, are you
Mhm.
even allowed to do that?
It was more so like just a disrespect. Like he was not going to get thrown out at second. So he
Right.
was just kind of like putting his dick in his face
Okay.
for no reason. And then wasn't moving for like a brief moment, and Jerem's like, "Yo, you gonna get the fuck off me?" And then Tim like chirped back, and then gloves dropped. Boom.
Gloves dropped.
Yeah. So
I've
cold,
never
dude.
seen that before.
And then
That
Tim
was
trying to
pretty-
walk, I was like wobbledy. Like he literally couldn't. Like I think it was so funny. You know, the cameramen were like, just stay on him. Like you know that guy in the booth, like
Yeah.
stay on Tim, stay on Tim, stay on Tim, and he's just like,
Yeah.
like also if you're his teammates, you got to do a better job of holding him up. You can't let him look like that walking off.
No,
Dude.
Andrew
Like,
Vaughn was there. I watched the John Boy clip of them breaking down the entire fight, dude. And Andrew Vaughn literally had his arms locked around Tim, like trying to hold him up so he wouldn't stumble around like that after he did stumble. And then, of course, Tim, after he like regained consciousness, like tried darting back, and Andrew Vaughn just comes up and bear hugs him again, and just wasn't able to move. But it was so funny, dude. The day after that happened, we go to the MLB store, and there's a Tim Anderson jersey in the window. I'm like, I need that. I need that. And so
we
we
got blocked by.
Oh
Yeah,
my
we gotta
God,
talk
we
about
gotta
that.
Uh,
I thought that was like the main reason for the Tim Anderson jersey.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
that first. So, Gab Goody, friend of sports betting industry. She works for FanDuel, is a Guardians influencer, Cleveland sports influencer, and she had tweeted about Jose following her and like tagged his account. And I was like, you know what? Like, what are the chances Jose follows me? Silly me.
Because I've got him in my goat whale.
Silly me.
Does
thinking
he know
that-
about it?
Silly me thinking that he fucking follows me, because I click his account and that shit says blocked, and I was so sad. I was just like, what? He fucking blocked my ass?
But think about it from his point of view. Let's say he checks Twitter on like a random Wednesday after the game, beginning of the season. First thing he's tagged in, he's holding a platter that says shit
Shit
wager
wager.
with his face on
Yeah.
it, dude.
I mean, I chirped him way too many times to be shocked about getting blocked. But yeah, that was pretty disrespectful. So we go to the MLB shop, and I see a Tim Anderson jersey in the window. I'm like, yeah, I need that. And so, of course, I go grab it. I go to the checkout stand, and the girl looks at it and looks at me, and she's like, you really buying this jersey right now after what happened last night? I'm like, it's a long story, man. But
Scan
yeah,
it.
just scan the goddamn jersey.
Run the card.
And the jersey.
Run the fucking card.
I was getting comments from random people in the city, in the streets, just seeing it and laughing at me. It was funny. But fuck Tim Anderson. And honestly, no, I'm not gonna say. I can't say fuck Jose. Jose's a goat. I mean, he absolutely slept Tim Anderson. That will forever be goated. You know, even though he sold the goat well, he ain't gonna get 100 RBIs. No chance.
Tim Anderson's not going to get his hits either.
We should have another like ceremony or funeral
Yeah.
for the goat whale.
Yes.
Blake Snell actually ran the last funeral for the goat whale, for the NFL goat whale. Yeah, he had us put our lighters up
That's right.
Yeah.
and sing. I forget. It was like "Wake Me Up."
I forget what song he
And the
sang.
goat
But
whale's dead.
yeah, that's what it was.
But yeah, shout out Snellzilla, goat.
Yep.
Dude,
yeah.
I am so fiending for some Wavelength.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Do you want to do it? Let's do it. We're going to do Wavelength. Do you want to explain the rules really quick?
Sure.
If you can do it, like, very quickly.
Lauren's gonna leave the room, and we all are gonna decide on a number, so 1 through 10, and it's on a scale out of 10. So say I pick 9 out of 10, we are gonna all get like, one category. So for example, I could be like fast food places, and I'll say Chick-fil-A, because in my opinion, that's a 9 out of 10.
I immediately thought 9.
Immediate, really?
You already lost.
So that was a good guess.
You already lost. Okay.
So we'll all go through that, and then Lauren will hear all of our like places, and then she'll have to kind of guess what number, scale 1 through 10, that we're kind of ranking these categories on.
All right. Let's do it.
Lauren, if you want to get
Let's do
out of
it.
here,
Yep.
Let's do it.
you want us to pick the number? All right.
Get out of here, Lauren.
We got to discuss.
Get out of here, Lauren.
Yeah,
I need
yeah,
doors
Lauren,
shut.
Lauren, I need that door shut.
I need doors shut.
Hey, do my, can you fold? No. Yeah, I'm down. All right.
The number?
All right,
that's not
and
the number.
categories. If you just want to rip some off real quick.
Does
I think-
Josh have categories?
Okay, nice. Super goats for Trent.
Or goat whales or super goats. Goat whales. Yeah.
Go else for
Like a
Trent.
guy from the goat whale.
It could be, I'd say, any sport.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's been like 3 of them, I think. NBA, NHL, MLB, NFL. So 4.
Okay. Trent's doing goat whales.
Mike, alcoholic beverage.
Alcoholic beverage.
Alcoholic beverage for myself. Word.
So like, you can choose yours. It's got to be NHL related.
NHL related. Okay. NHL team. Okay. LC. We're going to the bullpen. What's that one song that guy comes out to with like the trumpets?
You heard that all year. 'Cause
Okay.
you got hurt in the World Baseball
In the
Classic.
WBCs.
Yeah.
And the WBCs.
All right, we'll go start with Trent, and then we'll go around.
Shit. Okay. This is goat whales.
No way. Okay.
Goat whales. I'm gonna have to say Tom Brady.
That's all I needed to know.
Can Shelly go next?
You want me to go next?
I can't think of one.
All right, I got
Goat whales as in your goat whale?
Yeah.
NHL related, literally anything. So I'm just gonna do a team.
Stars.
I'm gonna go the Anaheim Ducks.
Okay.
Mine's alcoholic beverages.
Okay.
In
Damn.
terms of my personal experience, I would probably put this one up there, like a tequila soda.
Y'all gave me some tough ones.
Yeah. So you got Tom Brady and the Goat Whale. You got the Anaheim Ducks, and you got a tequila soda from Mikey.
Okay.
What do you feel? Talk me through the thought process right now.
Well, Tom Brady. There's no way he's not. Yeah. Whatever. I know he was bad for him. Anaheim Ducks are ass. You never ordered tequila soda. That's all I need to know.
I mean, yeah.
I'm gonna go with this is obviously 1 to 10.
1 through
right?
10.
I'm gonna go with a 3.
Wow!
Was it 3?
Yeah, it was 3. Wow.
Wow.
No way!
Playing with me.
Dude, there's
Come
no
on.
way.
Wait,
Fucked.
you
That
said
was so sharp.
1. I thought you were gonna say 1 or 2.
Dude,
For
I was,
sure.
like, I went too low.
I was
with
like, fuck,
tequila.
dude. Anaheim Ducks. She thinks
No,
they're suck.
yeah,
They're
I
kind of
also
like.
They have some
Anaheim.
promise.
I was about to say
They have some promise. They have some promise.
Okay.
That's not that bad of a drink, Tom Brady. Really.
Wow.
Still got a little goat in
That's
him.
It's a wavelength sharp, dude. I didn't.
Yo, that was.
Stop playing with me. Okay.
Wow.
Who's next?
That's
Yo,
Oh,
that
we
was
should end
yeah.
it after
fucking
that.
crazy,
That's insane.
dude.
But I want to do
You
it.
wanna
really
do
wanna
one?
All right,
Like
I'll
one
run.
more.
Yeah, you
I'll
get
run
out of here.
real quick. I'll run real
Get out of
quick.
here. We'll do one more and then we'll wrap. We'll do one more and then we'll wrap.
Same
Dang.
categories or what?
Same categories, or we want to
Sharp
change up the
as
categories?
attack.
That was nuts. You just
Sharp
got
as
that.
attack.
That was fucking
Don't
nuts. Do
forget.
you want to do same categories?
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm
Or,
going NHL.
What's the number? No, we can
No,
we
you
can
can
give you a
do
different one. What category?
Ah, okay.
College football teams is Lauren's category. What number do we want to do? Did we do that one? Okay, Trent's gonna put the number up to the camera. That's the number. That is the number.
Hey, Josh, why'd you hold it like that?
We got
I
college
was like-
football teams, alcoholic beverages, goat whales. All right, Will, you're good. All right, the game is Wavelength. Chelly has to guess the number.
Out of the bullpen.
Trent, you want to start us off again?
Yeah. Goat whales,
Again.
Mookie Bats.
Okay. I fuck with Mook.
Mookie
I
Betts.
need to cook mine up.
You want to cook yours?
Yeah.
All right, alcoholic beverages.
No, we're running it
I'm going to go with, keep in mind, my taste has changed slightly, but a crisp, like I would say, truly.
You guys are.
College football teams. I'm gonna go with Washington.
Okay. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk through it right. You guys are so annoying, by the way. Like, so annoying.
Tricky.
Mookie, he's on pace to hit, and he's also been like pretty solid this year. But he also screwed you over at the home run derby, like heavily. So that's obviously not like a 10-9. That's probably for Mookie. That's more like a 6, 7, 8 range. Mikey, you go ahead and gave me a crisp, truly.
Mm-hmm.
See, I that makes me think it's like a 6, 7 because a truly for you is not an 8, bro. Like an 8 for you would be like a nice little Moscow Mule type vibe or something a little bit higher than that. Washington.
tough.
So Washington, I've watched a little bit of college football or two. And I know that their offense is like insane. Like they're a powerhouse offensively. So they're like a late night over. The late night over gets me back up to 7. But that's not my final answer. I'm going with 8 on the dot.
It was 7.
7.
No!
Bro,
You were right there.
so
Dude, you were
sharp.
surge.
You were right
Everything
there.
you said was so sharp.
So surge.
Dude, that was crazy surgical.
Oh
Damn.
my God, I
Crazy
actually
surgical.
You
I
faded
just
yourself.
choked, bro.
You faded
You
yourself.
Dude,
absolutely
you have
should.
so in my head, bro. If you guys tail anything I put out, man, fade the fuck out of it, bro. I'm so.
Right.
Dude, you overthought it. You were like, I'm thinking 7. But that's not my
I was like, no way, we both got it right.
If we went back to back, that would have been
Bro,
fucking
dude, you
nuts.
literally
Damn.
just
Bro.
fumbled.
It was always ending on Lauren, dude.
Yeah,
That was
I know,
just.
I know.
That was such a tease, dude.
that really
All right, let's
was.
wrap this episode
I was
up,
literally
man,
clinched
before
up. I was like,
actually-
Mookie, yeah, Mookie was so good. Fucking crisp, truly. Washington.
hey, you had Washington. I was like, all right, Joe.
Dude, we had you at the goal line.
You think
Mookie was
Washington-
perfect.
Yeah, Washington's
He's like
not an
great,
eight.
but he's like kind of
Yeah, he's,
sketchy.
Like kind of
Yeah.
not there yet, but still like just
Oh,
enough to get
man.
you excited.
All right. I'll fucking suck, man.
All right, well,
Damn.
this
Let's
is
just wrap
this
it
has
up.
been the first episode of the new and improved We'll Be Seeing podcast. We really appreciate you guys. We will be dropping episodes 2 times a week. Make sure you guys like and subscribe on the YouTube. You can get this podcast wherever you get podcasts. That's Apple Podcasts, that's Spotify, and all the rest. We really appreciate you guys as always. Do we want to do where you can find us, or is it just
Nah.
presented by Book It Sports?
They know where to find us.
Y'all know where to find us.
Appreciate you guys.
We'll be.
We'll be.
We'll be.